responsibilities and pay. So some advantages of internal recruiting are improves morale, no errors in selection, promotes loyalty, no hasty decisions, economic in training costs because they're already a part of the company and they require less training, and self-development because they want to improve to get a higher position. Some disadvantages are it discourages capable people from joining the company because you're recruiting from inside your company. And if only seniority is the criteria for the promotion, people feeling might not be capable of actually doing that job, and it might result in favoritism because someone might get the job because they're liked better. And next is external recruitment, which is the assessment of available pool of job candidates other than the existing staff to see if they're sufficiently skilled and qualified to fill and perform the job vacancy. All organizations use external recruiting for recruiting higher positions mostly. Some sources of external recruitment are advertisement, employee exchanges, schools, colleges, universities, recommendations, factory gates, casual callers, applications, and labor unions. And available advantages of external recruitment are available and suitable persons because you're getting from a wide pool of people, so you can get someone that specifically fits the skills and education that you were looking for. And it brings new ideas to the company because they come from different experiences and different backgrounds, which could help the company out. And some disadvantages are demoralization because people in the company might think that they deserve the job, but they didn't end up getting it. And lack of cooperation because new employees might not cooperate with the new person you just hired. And it's also expensive because going out finding them is hard. And I'm going to talk about how to recruit at entry-level positions. So first you want to define your job opening, and you want to be able to write a better job advertisement. You need to ask questions like what the company's trying to accomplish with this position, what jobs and duties are they going to perform, and so how to attract the right candidate. List what the job pays and make sure it's competitive in your area. List the benefits such as medical and dental. List any perks that come with it, like tuition reimbursement or anything like that. List vacation benefits and describe if it can lead to a higher job in the future. Use it for recruitment, use assessment testing to filter out unqualified people. So assessment testing tests for skills and personality traits that you need for the job, and it creates an unbiased. Because you. Next thing. So I'm going to talk about managerial recruitment. Hourly managerial recruitment. Your best bet is to look internally and promote from within. This is not only encourage employees to work and perform better, but it also lets someone who knows the job already. And recruiting middle management. Middle manager is responsible for not only hiring entry-level managers, but also talking to higher-level management. And so you have to find someone who fits that criteria and can adjust to both forms of management. And recruitment at executive level positions. First, you want to define your recruitment parameters, and you want to define a timeline, including closing date, interview date, and final panel dates, which you'll be using, what kind of print or online advertising you want to use. Create a job candidate pack, which clearly explains what you're looking for. Next, you want to take briefings, which you talk to other people in the company who have an effect of this position and see what they're looking for someone to work this position. And you want to highlight relevant tasks and job performance in candidates. And you also want to have timely response management to ensure that you get back to them in time, because candidates are also looking for other jobs and could be looking for other things. And you want to sift through paper applications. It's important to have a clear criteria when looking through applications so you know exactly what you're looking for. Next, you want to long list interviews and psychometric testing. Prepare an interview script related to the person's specific job and criteria for that job they're interviewing for. This allows you to get a better understanding of their skills and experiences. And last is the final panel selection. You should have them prepare a presentation that will give you insight of how they will do this job. And lastly, extend offer feedback to candidates who did not get the job to give them a constructive feedback. And relate to me, I worked at a liquor store as an entry-level job, and I first started off stocking shelves and stuff like that, and was promoted to cashier, which is an example of internal promotion, because they promoted someone within because I already knew what the job entails and stuff like that.
So my name's Alex. I'll be talking to you about college recruiting. So the best practices for college recruiting are to build, develop, manage, and maintain campus relationships. These 4 steps are crucial because the recruiting process is lengthy and the growth of your connections ultimately determines your success. You never know which relationships will benefit you in the future, so networking should be the key focus while recruiting candidates. Your goals in the recruiting process should be thorough yet realistic and rational. Goals should be based on supply, demand, and related factors. Ask questions such as how large is the potential pool, where are the candidates, who are your competitors, and what are they offering. Completing these steps will allow you to set more realistic goals. Tying into the previous slide, you should have certain expectations prior to an interview for a candidate. Those expectations should correlate directly with the skills needed to complete the job. Ask about level of education and field of study, and also any specific skills or qualifications. Some positions require diverse candidates with wide ranges of skills, so be sure that you are thorough in your pre-evaluations. Research and tracking of schools should be completed in-house as opposed to relying on rankings. Each school specializes in a different area of education, and it's important to target schools that meet your specific needs. An engineering firm would most likely target recent graduates from MIT rather than a business-heavy school such as Harvard. While both are outstanding schools, one of them fits the needs of the firm better than the other. Setting the right people to campus is crucial because they represent the culture of your company. Representatives should be able to influence recruits and build relationships. Most effective on-campus recruiters will be good listeners, clear communicators, and have leadership traits. You want to send someone who candidates can relate to and who is viewed as a possible mentor. Keeping students in the loop during the hiring process ensures clarity on both sides. Candidates should be informed of what to expect and when. Let them know the steps of the interview process and how many rounds there are, as well as other steps in the pre-employment process. Follow-up interviews with emails to the candidates and connect with them on social media if you think they are the right fit for your organization. Feeding your company with an internship program provides a strong base of coachable recruits. Internship programs can help achieve a better retention rate and develop familiarity with recent graduates. Interns have the potential to become full-time hires with the bulk of their experience coming from the company itself, making them a very valuable asset. Career fairs offer students the opportunity to connect with multiple players in one room. Rowan holds semi-annual career fairs, and representatives from companies such as Lockheed Martin, TD Bank, and even the U.S. Army participate in the event. At these career fairs, networking is highly encouraged as there are many connections to be made. Students often discover intern or job opportunities during these events. Prop Jobs is a job posting site tailored for Rowan students. Employers can post any job or internship they like on the site, and only Rowan students can view and apply for the job. This is beneficial to recruiters because it narrows down their pool and gives them a more concise selection process, and also for students because they're only competing against their fellow classmates. Company visits are great for students that want to gain insight and learn about the daily operations of an organization. They also help display the culture of the company. Last semester, I joined the SHRM Club and visiting Novo Nordisk, located in Mercer County, New Jersey. The trip taught me a lot about the company, what the company stands for, and how they treat their employees. Offering candidates the chance to interact directly with recent hires can help them decide on whether or not the company is a fit for them or not. Sometimes candidates want to hear an opinion about the company from someone other than the recruiter. Recent hires can provide candidates with information about company culture, policies and procedures, and overall work life at the company. Job shadowing involves working with another employee who might have a different job in hand, might have something to teach, or can help the person shadowing him or her to learn new aspects related to the job, organization, certain behaviors, or competencies. It helps in networking, exploring opportunities, giving and receiving feedback, and collaboration with different departments. Students like to know what potential paths lay in front of them. Rather than trial and error, students want to know what a company will provide for them prior to accepting a job. Being upfront about benefits, placing an emphasis on innovation and employee welfare, and demonstrating an unrestricted team structure will have great appeal. Motivating interested in students to take the next step is all about the process. Having your ethics in order seems like a simple task, but these kinds of discrepancies can scare away students. Recruiters should establish job and internship posting guidelines, communicate these guidelines to students in schools, and review job and internship postings submitted by employers. Ensure that jobs and internships posted to their systems adhere to the university standards. The typical life at the office can seem pretty boring to young professionals who seek a modern, laid-back atmosphere. However, some companies have figured out that getting creative and offering a few extra perks can go a long way toward keeping employees happy and attracting new talent. Perks such as creative policies that offer employees unlimited vacation time or flexible hours.
Unlimited vacation time.
Technology is undoubtedly a part of our everyday lives, whether we like it or not. Companies that refuse to adhere to the ever-changing tech world will be left in the dust by more aggressive, forward-thinking companies. Students want to work for companies that embrace their tech backgrounds, not neglect them. Using apps such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat can help you portray a positive image about your company to a younger audience. The admissions office is the gateway to colleges and universities, and it plays a central role in informing campus and programs and services. Recruiters that work with the admissions office will find that it makes their job much easier. They can provide you with certain statistics regarding how many students are in a particular major or how many students attend the yearly career fair. Info sessions need to tell students something they don't already know. You can't just show up with your 20-slide PowerPoint presentation and leave time for Q&A at the end. Students want to interact and hear representative stories and what they're working on at the company. Take some time to evaluate the presentations you and your team are giving students. Figure out if you are designed to be interactive and provide students with information they can't get on your website. Track how many hires you make, but also track your interview to offer to acceptance, and retention rates. These steps can help you identify where you're having the most trouble so you can adjust. For example, a high number of interviews but few offers can tip you off to a problem with screening and candidates for interviews. You'll want to gather information from students who have turned down to identify what went wrong, but you should also find out what prompted acceptance among those agreed to come to work for your organization. So I found my current internship at Next Level Grades Football Club on Prof Jobs. I actually didn't apply directly through the site. I emailed the supervisor my resume, and I've been working with them for the last couple months and making a lot of great connections. Thank you.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Stephanie, and I'm going to be talking about social media recruitment. Okay, so why is social media recruitment important? So recruiting on social media is, well, sorry, what is it? It's the process of posting jobs online, such as like using LinkedIn or Facebook, and it's a good way to reach a maximum amount of potential candidates with the best matched skill set for the vacant position. And it's important because it's very successful today. And why does it work? We live in a digital age where job postings in the newspaper is like, it's not really an efficient way to reach the maximum amount of candidates. Information is so much more readily available via social media and the internet, and it's also more available because of search engines, and people can find what they're looking for easier. So the three main strategies of social media recruitment are referrals, hashtags, and remaining relevant on Google searches. Referrals basically just is referring to people like recruiters asking their employees to post on Facebook or LinkedIn about a certain job position being available, and yeah, and hashtags are similar, and Google searches are. So important social media platforms are LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. 89% of recruiters actually use LinkedIn compared to the 39% of job-seeking candidates. And Facebook, Twitter, they're also important, along with Google Plus and other. And then the law of attraction. This is basically just talking about saying that the best employers will attract the best employees. So the best postings will attract the most qualified candidates. And ways to do that is by making them enthusiastic and things like that. Cost effectiveness, it's a low in cost but very high in return. It's free to create a social media account and post online and gain more, attention for the open job. And there's no need for like paid advertisements. And then this also gives access to passive candidates. 85% of the working population are passive, which means that